funny thing about Ender's character is I never meant him to be important in any other story. When I wrote the original short story of Ender's Game, Ender was just the kid, the story was done, that was it. It was when I was working on a novel called, at that point, Speaker of Death, became Speaker for the Dead. I was having fits with it until I suddenly thought, what if this character is Ender years later? And so I started trying to write it that way, and it was really working except for one tiny problem. Ender's Game, the short story, did not end right. And that's how Ender's Game was born. It only existed in order to set up Speaker for the Dead. There were no other sequels in mind. Since then, of course, there have been other books in the Ender universe, so it's not as if Ender gave rise to everything. It's as if finally I'm coming back to him and finishing his response to the really terrible and difficult events of the First War. And in Ender in Exile, the basic situation is that the commander who won the war is now being forbidden to come home. He's just too powerful a figure. No government wants him, or else every government wants him. They all fear him. And so he is put in exile to govern over other people descended from those soldiers in the war that he won. He's cut off from home. He can never return to Earth. Essentially, the life that he might have thought he would have someday is over. It's out of reach. He's been given this job as being governor of a colony world he's 13 years old, 14 I think by the time he gets there. And how does a 14-year-old govern adults? It's a tough assignment for a kid, but in the process of the years that this book covers, he has to grow up. He has to find a place for himself in the adult world because the war is over and that place is gone. Most of Ender in Exile takes place between chapter 14 and chapter 15. Then I cover all the material of chapter 15 again. And then we have the last section of Ender in Exile that takes us a little farther forward. But most of this book takes place on the starship that is traveling between Earth and the first colony planet. For years, all of the subsidiary rights to Ender's Game have been tied up with movie deals because the studios always want to grab everything. And we got the comic book rights back. This is a great gift, and the video game rights as well. We immediately offered it to really everybody, but it was Marvel that had a program that they were starting of trying to do adaptations of literary works. They're very selective about what they do, but they got the vision of Ender's Game. They have given the best writers and artists to this project. They're taking every effort to be very faithful to it. Christopher Yost has written the script. He really caught the essence of it. I've actually learned some things from him. And then the artist, Pasquale Ferry, who's doing Ender's Game, he was a fan of the book already, but he's also, I'm a fan of his. I mean, it's like he's the cinematographer, and he's a great one. He chooses these gorgeous angles and really expressive characters. He does things comic books aren't supposed to be able to do. Every one of these books is designed to be a novel in its own right. And I think with Ender in Exile, if you've never heard of Ender's Game, you can still read Ender in Exile. It's the story of a soldier coming home from the war, only he can't come home, so he has to make a new home where he is, where he's sent. Nothing was going to hinder Ender Wiggin. In a way, that's what Ender in Exile is about, is that once he finds a purpose, once he has a goal, he will accomplish it.